Hey guys, I'm basically going to be playing a game. I'm actually midway through this one. I basically just ended up clearing out a rather difficult legendary weapons master or whatever they're called. I got one of the legendary guns. And I was like, oh, hey, cool, this is fun. And at the same time, I also have this prisoner here in the middle of my ship right there. You see her. She has like 5 death refusals, so I was like, hey, you know what would be kind of fun is just to see how much money I can make off of her. Which is why you see me turning down the difficulty, and I've been playing on losing is fun, but I'm like, okay, let's tone it down, because honestly, losing is fun fun in the base game, but honestly, I don't know if I would say it's fun overall. Hence the title of this video. What actually got me recently starting to want to make videos again was a video about a Rimworld hospitality mod. And in the mod, you basically get to be chill and relaxed. And it was nice. I was like, holy crap, this is fun looking. And man, you could tell some interesting stories. Which is what I really kind of want to do. And that's actually kind of my point. If you haven't ever played on like the max difficulty, I've done losing is fun and plus 500%. In some ways, that is a very fun experience. That said, I don't think it's that fun when you're actually doing some of the new content. Especially like this grav ship one. Because you're punished for building a bigger grav ship. So your goals are basically have a small grav ship, fly around, gather some basic supplies, basically what you want for the anchor. Then you want to basically build your anchor base, and I'm assuming it's intended to be built in space. I have not yet gone into space because, honestly, of all the content that this game brought into this, it's the least interesting to me. I'm not really interested in space. Now that I said that, I kind of want to make a video about that. But that's, again, like, I don't want to do it. I want to play Rimworld the way I want to play it. I'm like, man, like, there's so many cool things that I've seen. Lava fields, lagoons. I haven't gone to the Glow Forest yet. I really want to. You don't get that stuff by like doing it the way they want you to do it. Maybe if I beat the Mechanoid Hive, the game gets a whole lot better. This fort is basically I've been playing it on max difficulty, and I decided to throw everything out the window and just kind of have some fun and treat it like a lower difficulty permadeath fort. Because honestly, I think that's the part I miss. I don't mind having forts, but man, I think I miss permadeath. And trying to record a video of a fort on losing is fun permadeath, it's a little on the hard side. And by hard side, I mean to find entertaining content. Most of this video, I got, what is it? Over almost 8 hours. Yeah. I've got 8 hours of video right now, and that is mostly me sitting around twiddling my thumbs because I can't actually do things, because if I do those things, I'll end up like my fort ends up, which is not well. It dies, guys. Anyway, I have a legendary revolver. I even get a legendary spear. I think I forgot to bookmark that, so I don't know if I'll have video footage of it. Uh-oh. Anyway, whoops. Yeah. Well, let's get into it, guys. Alrighty. So we have our first raid here. This was an interesting point for me, because this is the first time I've got to use the legendary revolver. The legendary revolver was a pain in the butt to get, especially on the max difficulty. Like, one of the two people was constantly throwing flames everywhere, and one of the two people was just like a gun-wielding maniac, and I think you'll see it here in just a second, because I think the revolver speaks for itself. Again, this is not how I would be playing on the normal difficulty. I'm just kind of screwing around and seeing, like, okay, how good are these weapons I just looted from the thing? The only weapon I still have that's crap is the breaching axe. Now, if we fast forward about an hour now into the footage, you'll find that I'm basically starting to get the armor and equipment organized. At this point, I had decided I was not going into space anytime. And again, I should have done things differently, but I didn't like the idea of doing it the way I know I should do it. So I ended up just kind of doing it the way I wanted to. Which, it's not exactly the greatest decision from a strategy perspective, but we'll live, we'll learn, we'll laugh, we'll cry, and don't take your clothes off, man. Now, getting blinky was definitely the point where I actually did this because I'm just kind of like, screw it, let's see what happens. I'm kind of just, again, just kind of trying to see what goes on, and rather than try to play for the final score or something, I'm just kind of like, we'll just see what we do. So they're one of the characters' brothers, and I'm like, let's go rescue them. They have at least mining. Mining is useful. Oh boy, how did that change? And I'm like, okay, where are they? I wish you could... Note to Ludion, if you watch this, add an ability to tag the map so you can highlight a quest marker you're looking for. See, this map though is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh man, I love this map. This is just so much fun. This made me want to build a tribal fishing village so badly. So badly. In fact, that's kind of where I'm going right now. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Screw flying a spaceship around, man. Tribal fishing village, here we come. It sounds fun. Throw in some hospitality mod. You could just park your ship on the water, and the ambush pops right out. And it's like, oh no, it's an ambush. I didn't see it coming. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. And I was trying to get around the corner, but the mechanoid is just too much faster. And we get hit. Wow. See, mechanoids is a good example. The Mechanitor. I hate playing with a Mechanitor on high-level difficulty. Flat out, across the board. The only time the Mechanitor is useful is when you've already got, a very strong base. And I know people are going to be like, well, yeah, that's the point. No, actually, the point is you're supposed to have a mission where you can start as a Mechanitor, and yes, the difficulty is losing is fun, but... man, the Militor sucks, and realizing that at high difficulty, it is better to use an Agrahand as a combat weapon than the Militor, because the Agrahand actually has saws and is decent at melee, and the Militor's shotgun is such complete garbage, you might as well be throwing it away. Yeah, that was a discouraging moment for me. I love it. I'm just taking it down with a legendary pistol. Let's go! Yeah. Hide, right. Cover is important. I think she comes pretty close to taking down the mechanoid by herself. That revolver is just beastly. I didn't ever show it, and if someone wants me to, I guess I could go get it. And this save is still here. I could totally resume this fort. There at the end, I was starting to make some really stupid decisions because I realized how much leeway the difficulty gives you, and I'm like, oh, holy crap, man. I can do really crazy things. Mechanitor is clearly optimized, the starting scenario for a lower difficulty. I'm sorry, I was doing it recently on the highest difficulty, and I literally was using Agrahands for melee because Agrahands are better than the Militor. The Militor is literally just wasted pop space. It creates huge amounts of threat. It is completely garbage, unless you're using kill boxes and trap hallways, which are even lamer. Yeah, it's just not worth it. And that's actually my point, though. It's man, if you're wanting kill boxes and trap hallways, 2 constructor bots and 2 agrobots are better than 4 Militors, which is a wild thing to say, but it's true. Base game's initial starting fighting robot is complete and utter garbage, so much so that if you use it, it pretty much guarantees you're going to lose your fort unless you're using exploits. But I mean, if you're using exploits, there's better things you can be doing than using the Militor. Yeah, I really want to play the Militor start, like with Militors actually fighting and defending the colony and stuff. I think that'd be cool from like a storytelling perspective. We're getting ready basically to have a kid, and at this point in the game, I hadn't decided whether I'm going to keep it or not. Originally, my plan was to raise the kid to become the crafts person for the fort. Then I got Blinky, and Blinky has like great crafting skills. Garbage construction, which is kind of why I start doing some really weird construction projects here. But great crafting, like fantastic crafting. I literally put him to work and basically started making good, excellent clothing and armor and stuff. Like, it made my colonists so much tougher. It's not even a joke. Yeah, so I kind of decided to, not have the baby. And yeah, that felt really wrong. Alright, so we're at our next landing site. This landing site is very boring. I don't know what else to say, but if you look here, you can see all these fun lines I'm digging in the earth. Yeah, that's because Blinky was supposed to be my miner, and then he was a good craftsman, and so I'm like, hey, he's going to be my production specialist. Because a good production specialist is like, oh yeah, baby. And again, not what I would be doing normally in this fort. Suddenly having a ship full of masterwork stuff. Fun, but yeah, not the best move. Anyway, I spent like 2 hours grinding stone here. So we're going to fast forward to me building the walls, which is here. And I'm basically getting ready to build a big circle around my ship. I've noticed that, like, the back of the ship is the closest to the outside of the bubble that your ship creates, because your grav core is not centered on your original ship. I build a giant wall, again, on a high difficulty. I don't actually know if this is good advice or not. I wasn't really trying a hardcore run at this point. Yes, so I can't 100% say. Basically what I would do is save up some cores, get a bunch of those cores, and then basically build a trap hallway around the outside of this ship. It's lame and boring and stupid, but it works, unfortunately. You don't have a lot of space. And see, what I was trying to do towards the end of this fort is build a little outpost where I could basically put things I want to keep and I don't want to lose, but I don't want them on my ship because they generate too much wealth or take up too much space. Because I wanted gene banks. I was like, man, I really want to start getting like that genie gene so I can min-max my craftsman. Again, I was just kind of cutting loose and having fun. Is it a smart move? No. But I mean, well, yeah. If you can one of those things I've always wanted to do is max out construction and crafting with the genetics and everything. So like you basically have this guy, he never does any construction work, but the moment he does it, it's like a master work, no matter what he does, when he does, or why. Again, see, like, that's a great example of something that does not mesh well with the highest difficulty. Legendary masterwork armor and weapons are absolutely necessary. Legendary furniture? I would have to say no. I will point out, if you look at my ship, my ideology is human primacy and pain is fine. I don't remember what that one. Idealized. Yes, and shipborne. Hence, I get the nutrient paste dispenser. I get very small rooms because of the one thing. I can put slab beds in there, which means my beds are made out of jade, and my people like it. Kind of wish I'd used obsidian, by the way. I think obsidian would look cooler. But anyway, I didn't have obsidian, and I found a huge jade deposit, so that's a different story. It was a big one, boys. It was really big. All right, so we're going to show real fast. The whole point of this design is kind of seen here. You take off, you're a giant circle. And again, it's not very well optimized, well designed. I'm just kind of slapping it together at this point. I went from taking this run super serious to getting that legendary gun and being like, man, I just want to have some fun. If you'll notice, I got the ship's giant circle here with a couple clicks. You can spin that sucker around, look at that field and go, hey, that looks like, wait for it, a high fertility area. Pop that sucker down, and you have the grow surface area inside your fort. No fuss, no muss. The goal was to set it up so you kind of have like this little outpost structure to the side of the building. And again, I kind of went a little whole hog here because, you know, I gave it a geothermal thingy-majigger. And like I said, I was kind of getting a little carried away at this point. I had like 7 masterworks, by the way. I was, yeah. Fun, but not great when you're trying to avoid a threat. Yeah, I should not have had those. Anyway, I was going to build a gene bank in here, like that kind of stuff. Move my armor and equipment in a storage room. So move my armor and equipment in there, store genetic material there, build all that stuff as a separate entity, and then leave it behind, and hopefully no one raids it. That's the part I kind of want to go back and check, because, I probably will. But I mean, at this point, I'm just burned out, because, man, this was a long run. It was very fun. Well, mostly. I actually walked away from it a couple times. Big problem. Your ship's cooldown takes forever. And again, man, if you're doing this right, like, you don't have that much aggro. Like, because your ship isn't big. I really, 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 really wish that this was more of a, you start like with an outpost in space that's already kind of functional. And your outpost doesn't ever get like raided. Unless you're there, and then every now and then you can get a raid. But I mean, you know, you build the ship, and then the ship goes down to the planet to get supplies for the outpost kind of thing. I think that would work well. The way they have it right now, you need permanent defenses. And while you can do it with this ship, and it does work, it's just not fun. Like on high difficulty, guys. Again, this right here, I wouldn't be doing this. This big wall, like, no, it's way too much material. It's way too big. It doesn't serve any function at all. And honestly, it's easier to just build defenses around the ship every time you land. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you have a high construction crew, it's not that bad. You can just land, cut down some trees, build walls around that sucker, and boom, you've got some basic defenses. The AI does not really know what to do with walls. So, I mean, as long as you build them a path, they'll go through the path, and boom, you got yourself a trap corridor. Is it fun? No. Does it work? Oh, heck yeah. And when you leave, only the things you need leave with you. Again, I can show some footage. We've got ourselves our little cotton field. Again, this isn't what you should be doing from a high difficulty perspective. Honestly, I should use the cotton I need. Can you see the piles to the right over there? You should be using the materials you need on site, and then when you leave, you just leave them. Okay? Screw keeping them. It's not worth it. Like, I have this stupid 4-piece of jade floating around in my inventory still. I shouldn't be keeping it. I should get rid of it. Jade's a little more valuable, like gold. I get it, right? But honestly, unless you're actually almost ready to use the gold to build stuff, And at this point, I'm getting close to the end of the run. I'm like 7 hours, 8 hours in, and I'm kind of honestly getting tired. Not like a straight 8-hour run here, but I mean, I'm tired of this fort. Like, yes, it works. Yes, it functions. And I have saves. Like I said, I could recover this if I needed to. Do I want to? No. Honestly, I don't. I want to do something else. I kind of really still want to do the tribal one. Sounds fun. See, that's my issue. I mean, there's so many things that sound fun right now. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This was a fun fort. as you watch it die, consider like telling me, hey, would you like me to actually keep this fort going? Or do you think I'm in, like, whatever? Just leave some comments if you think of anything. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You have a good one.